Difficulties do not determine your destiny. When I was a little girl, my mommy had this sewing machine. It was a sewing machine that she had actually gotten from her grandmother, and her grandmother had gotten it from her mother. So this was a sewing machine that had been passed down from one generation to the next generation to the next generation. So one day she took her sewing machine out and she set it up and she said to me, now granted, why do you take a sewing machine out, set it up, and then walk away is beyond me. But she took out her sewing machine, she set it up, and she said to me, Peggy, don't touch the sewing machine. And of course, me trying to be the dutiful, the good daughter, I said, of course, Mommy, I won't touch your sewing machine. So my mommy walked away. But the sewing machine was so special. My mom really liked the sewing machine, and I really wanted to learn how to sew. So I went over to the sewing machine, and I noticed how when my mom turned the little wheel on the side, the needle went up and down and up and down and up and down. And it was just really cool. And there's a button on the floor, and so I pushed the button on the floor and watched the sewing machine go zzz. And my mother heard the noise. My mother heard the noise, and my mom came and she said, Peggy, I told you not to touch the sewing machine. She looked at the sewing machine, and the string was stuck, and it's called a bobbin underneath, and it was stuck in there, and she couldn't get it out, and I had broken it. Tears, real tears welled up in my mom's eyes. Her nose turned red. She was so upset at me, and I had not wanted to break my mommy's heart. I just wanted to know how to sew. She said to me, Peggy, didn't I tell you not to? Yeah. But I didn't remember that. I just wanted to sew. So, this was back in the early 80s, and, so I got a spanking. No one was talking about timeout back then. So I got a spanking, and after my mom spanked me, she was still crying. And I didn't know what to do because I didn't want to make my mommy cry. I really was sorry. I really didn't mean it. But how I'm feeling it didn't matter. I didn't understand. Why did I have to be the one to always keep going and going and going non-stop? Whether I was sitting in church or waiting in the hospital or playing at school, I could never do anything right at all. I was the hyperactive daughter, the child that couldn't get anything right. But see, life has balance. And so even if you have difficulties and, dare I say, disasters in one area, other areas of your life can be absolutely divine. So even though, yes, I was hyperactive, I'm insanely creative. I can write music, I write poems, I write plays, I do all of these things. So even though there's hardship and difficulty on this side, there's good things over here. So even though we have challenges in one area, we can be a champion in the other area. The problem is when we have this difficulty, this challenge, this negative thing in our lives, we focus on the negative and then neglect everything that is good. We know the scenario. We're having a great day, and then we're sitting at lunch, and then someone comes over, some guy, he comes over and puts his fork in our plate and takes our favorite piece of broccoli. He takes our broccoli, and now for the entire rest of the day, our day is ruined because of that 5 minutes. So what we need to do is learn how to focus on what is positive. So there are 3 ways, 3 things we need to do in order to change our negative circumstances to become more positive. And one thing, of course, like I said, is focus. Can we focus on the good things? Can we focus on the plans? Can we focus on the things we've set up to get over the bad things? Can we focus? Focus on the good that is to come. The second thing is forgiveness. See, I can sit here and I can think about all of the negative things that have happened in my life, all of the times I did not do anything right. I can think about those things, or I can forgive. You know, my parents were very young when they had me. You know, they were in their early 20s, and there wasn't a lot out about kids who were hyperactive. There wasn't a lot out about how to discipline children. There wasn't all that information. What my parents did is they did their best with the information that they had. And yeah, sometimes it was a little rough, but they loved me the best way they could. And so I'm able to forgive them. I'm able to reframe what happened to me and recognize that it's okay. I am better for them. I'm able to move forward. The idea is, number one, to focus. The other one is forgive. And the third one, can you be your favorite person? Your favorite. Give yourself the love that no one else gave you. Be your favorite person. Affirm yourself. Give yourself what you need. We all have the habit of putting every single other person first. Our job first, our family first, everything else is first. But what is it that you need in this moment to make you feel special? Favor, forgiveness, and being able to focus. If we are able to do those three things, we will be able to focus forward. We will be able to be phenomenal. We will be able to be every single thing that we are purposed to be. So my message I want to leave with you this afternoon. My message is simple. Do not allow all of the things in your past to stop you from reaching toward your future. Thank you very much.
Peggy speaking life into you. Fuel for your fire as you break through. It's Peggy. If you're back, get glad. Feeling low, it's time to grow when life gets sour. Get power. It's Peggy.